Hi, welcome back to our podcast, Crime of Influence. We're your hosts, Isabella Lopez, and
Ashley Pereira, and on today's episode, we're going to be debating on how the representation of crime on social media has a negative effect on the general public.
my first point of this is how social media helps facilitate crime awareness.
Okay.
So on June 16th, 2022, Instagram posted an article that they announced the collaboration between Instagram and the NCMEC, which is the National Association for Missing Children. Basically, the
Oh,
Amber
okay.
Alerts.
Oh,
They're
okay.
the ones to do it.
Ah,
And this stated that the actual Amber Alert feature states we're launching Amber Alerts on Instagram, allowing people to see and share notices of missing children in the area. So it's not just how you get the alert on your phone
mm-hmm.
normally. Now it's that on the platform. It's like Instagram where
Mm-hmm.
you're able to like resend it, repost,
Oh,
and
okay.
all
So instead of
that.
that one original.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And in 2020, there was a case of Amanda Disley that lost her 11-year-old daughter.
Oh.
Super sad. They posted an Amber Alert like the regular ones, couldn't find her anywhere. And the second that the NCMEC they posted on their actual Instagram account and
Mm-hmm.
people started reposting it, that's when they were able to find the missing child.
I'm really glad that the outcome of that case turned out the way it did because I can't imagine being a parent and losing a child. That's really horrifying, honestly. The sad reality is that that's a one in a million case that it's able to be solved by social media like that. And the reason why is because a lot of people don't feel the need to take action on it, right? Because that's how the crime was solved by everyone helping out. And I know that people don't really like to take action because a study in this article that I found that's called Does Media Violence Cause Violence by Saeed Hassan on May 4th, 2020. And he was talking about this study where it was two groups of people, and one group played a violent video game and then the other played a non violent video game. They thought that was the extent of the experiment. However, actually being tested on their reaction to the commotion outside based on them playing the video games. And what the study found was that the people who played the violent video game tended to not react at all. They didn't feel the need to go help the person in distress outside. And that's really interesting because you see the psychological impact that that little just the 20 minutes of playing violent video games has on a person. It was only 20 minutes. And that's crazy to me because that affects your daily life, right? Just those 20 minutes, and all of a sudden, you just don't feel as much of a need to help someone.
That's crazy how it was only 20 minutes.
Right?
Like, why do you think it was that
It's
that
because
happened?
it's little by little they're being desensitized to it and they don't
Mhm.
realize it.
So the more you see something negative, the more you kind of become
The more
used
you're
to it in a
used to
way.
it. And that's why you just don't feel the need to react to it.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense,
It
especially with
does.
social media. That's so much information at once. Like the short term content, like TikTok, Instagram,
Mhm.
you could scroll mindlessly for hours and consume you don't even know how much
Exactly.
information at
And you get so
once.
used to it.
Exactly. I mean, social media can have very clearly a negative
Mhm.
impact. I believe that's also fully on the consumer though, and on identifying that you are having a negative effect and putting your phone down,
Mhm.
or also a lot of these platforms are based on algorithms.
Yeah.
And the more you search up, the more you comment, the more you like on a certain genre, the more the platform will feed you to
Uh-huh.
that genre. So I think it's less on social media and more on the
What the
consumer.
positive side of that social media?
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that actually leads me to public mobilization.
Mhm.
So there was a article posted by the Homeland Security or in like their website. It was updated on September 26th, 2024. And it's if you see something, say something, hashtag say say
Oh,
day.
okay.
I'm sure you've heard of that campaign.
Yes.
And this is an example of one of many campaigns that give a platform for the general public to be able to, if they see something sketchy or any type of crime or anything, anonymously post like anonymous tip that can
Mhm.
help the departments and police and all that solve crimes. And they actually created a national holiday around this.
Really?
Yeah, it's called See Say Day. It's
Oh,
on
that's so cute.
September 26th, and they have a hashtag See Say Day where public can use it through social media platforms to re-upload it's not gonna be upload, sorry, repost.
Mhm.
So it's like this constant loop of information of see something, say
Oh,
something,
okay.
really spreading that awareness that there is somewhere where anonymous things can be sent
Mhm.
out, but also encouraging the public to say something. The website actually goes in depth to how to do this in a more mindful manner.
Okay.
So
I'm really glad that it has that mindful detail to aspect to it, because
mhm.
that's actually that's a big issue when it comes to social media and any awareness of crime on it, because I found that it's actually the quick spread of misinformation from anonymous tips like that can lead to really harmful impacts. I found this in this article called Social and News Media's Effects on Law Enforcement by Sean Morrow. It was posted on May 16, 2019. And it was a special case where this poor guy was shot by police. And there was this one detail that he had his hands up, and it was spread tremendously quickly. It states here that the reaction to Twitter was a spike in tweets to over 3.5 million tweets, but the television news outlet only reported the event on average of 98 minutes in the same 24-hour time span. And it was this really, really quick spread of this little tiny detail that led to big backlash on the police department. It was faster than the news. So the news didn't have any time to spread
Before
this
the tweet.
correct information. That's how fast misinformation can spread. And you don't realize that that misinformation, it has such a big impact on the police department and something as important as that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly changed the perspective that
Yeah.
what 3.5
3.5 million people.
million people.
Imagine how they think of the police. And
Yeah, and I'm sure that's one of millions of different cases.
mhm.
I agree that social media is really good for spreading good information that can actually, this whole campaign was proven to become like have a positive effect on the relationship
Mm.
between departments and the public. But it could also have the complete opposite effect, like
Yeah,
you said now, where the public has a completely different negative
because the
perspective.
wrong information was spread.
Exactly. I believe this is fully on the individual, though. I think
That's true.
it's very important for the public and the individuals that make up the general public
Yes.
to log in and see what sources are actually credible. Maybe don't believe random account and instead use multiple sources, use credible
Mhm.
sources, like overlap them, see what connects and what doesn't connect.
This little statistic, real quick, that's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
surprise you. It said it's from the same article. It says that the researchers of this study found that 71% of Americans have witnessed fake news reports online, such as Twitter, and 100% of the individuals stated that they shared the fake news.
And they knew it
They
was
knew it
fake.
was fake, but they decided like, oh, this is interesting. This is happening right now, so I'm gonna
Let's
share
talk
it
about it
anyways.
for real.
Mm,
That's an issue. Of course, it's an issue. But then the people they're spreading it to, they should be
yeah.
checking instead of just believing it. But that whole like psychological thing, that component of social media and how that can change your perception of the department. And there was an article I found by Pamela Rudelich. I know I'm butchering her last.
Well,
I know I'm butchering her
it's
last
okay.
name.
It's okay.
She has a PhD in media psychology, pretty cool major. I didn't know that was a thing,
Yeah, me neither.
and decades as a media producer. So she
Oh.
knows the ins and out of social media
Mhm.
and talks about this psychology component that
Okay.
I didn't even consider. She did an article titled Gabby Petito True Crime Rubbernecking on Social Media, and she posted it on September 23rd, 2021,
Mhm.
so pretty recently. For context, the Gabby Petito case was a content creator that she, alongside her fiance, traveled in a van life. They just shared their travels and all that on social media with their followers.
Oh, okay.
On Instagram, she was also posting, so on TikTok and Instagram. On Instagram, she was posting, and people started to, her followers started to notice that her captions were getting funky. Then on TikTok, like the fiance, all of a sudden she
The
wasn't in the videos.
fiance.
It's always the
It's always
fiance.
the
Always
fiance.
the fiance. And social media, all of a sudden, she was, organizing something or doing this or doing that. Never
Oh,
did
so
a
she was
post.
never there.
Her followers were like, something's actually wrong here because she was always replying to
Mhm.
comments really nice, and now she's basically off the planet.
Okay.
And this connects. So the article states creating content, following, sharing, and attracting likes and followers allows people to move from connection to ownership, enhancing identity.
Ownership.
Perceptions that they are somehow helping enhance feelings of competence, confirm their relationship with the victim, and let them feel smarter and safer. So they had this
Oh.
connection. this almost friendship that they felt between themselves and
Okay.
Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, they were able to make a lot of the commotion because they were all worried for her. And it was announced that she was missing. So family members actually found out and noticed that, hey, she hasn't talked to us in a
Like through
while,
social media.
through these followers being like, yo, something's wrong. Because
Oh,
that's how
wow.
like connected they felt to her in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. They were able to announce that she was missing, but a random follower of hers also traveled and had a video of a van that matched the description of Gabby's and her fiance's van. And through this, what, like 30-second video, the police was actually able to find, very unfortunate, very sad, Gabby Petito's body. Through this 30-second random video that this person took
What?
of like their traveling. It's like you're
Uh-huh.
traveling, you take a video of the ocean.
There's just random
That
people
type
there.
of random video.
Wow.
So just through those little small things that you may even have something in your gallery,
I gotta double check that.
a whole crime was solved.
That's
They like found her
crazy.
body, they found the fiance, like hunted him down,
Wow.
all through followers. And it was because of this deep connection that they felt that a need to help her.
Wow, that's a crazy outcome. I'm really glad that they were able to use it as a resource like that. But this reminds me of the sad fact that not a lot of people actually feel that need.
Mhm.
That relationship between the content creator and followers is really only specific to people, like let's say our age, on social media that have that connection with the content creators that they follow every day. I don't know about you, but I don't have a specific content creator that I need to check daily. Thing is, that relates to how majority of people don't feel that need to take action. I know this is true because of this article that I found called Investigating the Relationship Between Social Media Consumption and Fear of Crime by Jonathan Travia, Kevin Wolf, and Rocio Paez. It was published on August 7th of 2017. And they found that the majority of people were actually more scared of the world because of this increased exposure to violence on social media. It states here that the more time spent consuming media, the greater likelihood users' perceptions of the real world will align with what is depicted in the media. AKA saying that the more violence you'll see, and more scared of the world you're gonna be.
So it kind of creates like a bubble in a way where like
In
you
a
only
way.
see the world through like that
Yeah.
type of
And
lens.
it's this syndrome that's actually called mean world syndrome
Oh,
because
I've never heard
it
about
has
that.
an actual name. So yes, you're gonna see the world as is. Like we see, for example, we have Oldie and Dade, right? We daily we see things like, oh, this person was shot. There was this accident. There was this crime happening, right? So it's that constant exposure of crime and violence on media daily, little by little, and it heightens our fear and our anxiety towards the world, causing mean world syndrome.
I agree. I believe that social media is very, very powerful in changing our
Mm-hmm.
perspectives. And I still do believe it is on the public, it is
It's true.
on the individuals. Because social media, if it has the power to do amazing
Yeah.
things, I think it also obviously has the power to do really horrible things.
Yes.
But it's because, again, back to the algorithm, you are constantly being fed these things because you follow these accounts, because you.
Because we're always intaking that social media. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. And overall, I think we have to be more conscious of how we use social media in
Yes.
general. Yeah. We'll see you back in our next episode.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.